Hey everybody, welcome back to JP's Budget Collecting and our Sunday Whatever show. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it as always. You guys are awesome for spending part of your Sunday evenings with me. So let's see, we got a few people in the chat already. We had No Good Comics was tailgating early. Don't know if he's back yet, but I appreciate the little tailgating. We got the Unruly Simeon. What is happening, my friend? I have no idea what he's talking about here, but sounds interesting. What a big showing. Lasso, what is going on? Thank you. Deep House, thank you for joining us. I appreciate it. So yeah, we're just gonna hang out on a Sunday evening. And I did get to my comic shop this week, so I do have a few pickups. I had something else come in this week that's not a comic, but it is kind of collecting related that I'm going to show off, talk about stuff I got coming up this week on shows, and then toward the end, we'll do another kind of final wrap-up, JP's thoughts on WandaVision. If you didn't watch it, last night I was on Los's channel. We did a WandaVision season wrap up, me and Los and John and Los's brother Vic. On Be Brokeable. No, Be Unbrokeable. Now I forget. Anyway, it's his channel name. And yeah, so we talked a bunch of stuff, but there's a few things we didn't talk about that I just want to give some thoughts on here. Let's see. Oh, Delphia and Kachung are in the house. What's going on? Louis is here. If you watch the stream, I gave up on trying to say. I can say Cthulhu, but I can't make the transition to the Louis. It's not within my speaking abilities. Fritzy's, what is going on? Sam, I am. Wow, you guys are awesome. Thank you for hanging out on a Sunday for my random ramblings about whatever. So, why is that it looks weird? I don't know. Like it's out of focus in the bag or something. They both look out of focus. I guess just because of where the focus is. I'm in focus, so I guess well, you guys probably will want to complain about me being in focus if you gotta look at me. So let's start with what we got coming up this week. Tomorrow night, I will be on Comic Books NYC, Kavi's channel. We're doing another Gotham City Chronicles. It's his turn to host. This is our 23rd episode over 2 years. So we're not quite to the 2-year mark yet. So we've been averaging about one a month, which is kind of what our goal was. And we are doing Golden Age Batman. We're going to read, I'm most of the way through, but I only have one more I have to read, or about less than halfway through this trade. But I only have to read one more for us. We're going to be discussing Tech 27 through 33, which is his first origin is 33. Then we're going to talk about 38, which is obviously the first Robin. Then we're going to talk about Batman 1, first Joker, first Catwoman. I actually read all the way through 38. So I read 34 through 35, 36, and 37, mainly because I wanted to read 36, which was the Hugo Strange one. So I just kept reading. This trade goes to 45 on Detective, 27 to 45 on Detective, 1 through 3 on Batman, and New York's World's Fair Comics number 2, which I think is the Superman Batman story. So anyway, we're not going to talk about all those. We're talking about 27 through 33, 38, and Batman 1 tomorrow night. So yeah, I think Unruly says these are boring. They're not actually as bad as I kind of feared. They're dated. I will give them that, but they're not as bad as I feared they were going to be. So, Generations Lost, Generations Forward, Infinite Frontier, DC is ahead of the stick, and okay. Dave Ayers is in the house. What is going on? Thank you for hanging out. So that is tomorrow night. On Thursday, Mr. Unruly and Los and Gorilla Todd will be joining me for another round of Wicked and Divine. We're talking volume 6 and 7. So we got 2 more shows to go. We got the Imperial Phase 2 and Mothering Invention. So I have not actually read these yet. I'm a little behind. I got to get this Batman done. And then hopefully, because I'll get through Batman 1 tonight, because it's the only one I have left, and then I'll start reading these probably tonight after this show. So I'll save it for tomorrow. But it's not, I wouldn't say that they're like the pieces are there, but it's just it's definitely a dated storytelling form. And there's some things that are like, but the pieces that form Batman are all there. Other than he like kills a whole bunch of dudes. Like he's pushing people off buildings and yeah. So, but otherwise, yeah, it's all there. It's all the start is all there. So, nice. Good for you, Scott. I only have one Golden Age Batman, and it's right there. And that is Batman 42. So I'd love to have a few more, but yeah, we're just not to that stage yet. We got, yeah, JP's gonna maybe talk about that a little bit. Like he's gonna have to evaluate some of his collecting goals just because the market is crazy right now with what things cost and what things are going for. So we'll see where we go. So that's those are my two shows this week before we get to my usual weekend stuff. Next Monday, a week from this Monday, is our next Comigories. And sorry, I got something. Excuse me. And so that's coming up a week from this Monday on John's channel. And yeah, I think that's it. There's no D&D tonight. If you're looking forward to that, John had a family thing, so there's no D&D tonight. So our final showdown with Strahd's not going to happen again this week. Hopefully next week, maybe we'll get that in. We'll see. He escaped last week, so we'll see how that goes. What are you noting to self? I don't know. Noting to self what? That I'm thinking about changing some of my goals? We'll see. Can we have a moment of silence for my... Oh, yeah. So if you tuned in last week, the guy wasn't supposed to come for like till next week or the week after. But there's actually supposed to be some kind of crummy weather this next week. So I went to work Friday morning, like thinking, all right, well, hopefully everything will be okay till he can get here. And I came home at lunch because I'm still kind of working from home, working from the office, kind of splitting time. And what I've been doing mostly, because the dog's so used to me being here, is I've been going in the mornings to like mix it up, work from the office, and then coming home at lunch, taking him out, and then working the afternoon from home. And like I got home at noon, and the tree was gone. Like all that was left was the stump, all the limbs, everything was gone. They'd already hauled them off. There was just the big chunks that were left. If you saw my Instagram, like the pictures I took, that was the only parts of the tree that were left in the yard. He walks up to me, he's like, "Hope you didn't change your mind." I was like, "No, but I was not expecting you this week." So that bill came due a little sooner than I hoped, but that's okay. I had it to pay it anyway. And then let's see. Let's see, who do we have jump in here? John jumped in here. Literally a year into making at this point almost. Hey, John, what's going on? This is true. Golds are more reasonable compared to... They have not jumped the way some of these others have. But where was I going? Oh, and then he came back Saturday, grinded the stump out. So my yard it looks really weird not to have that giant tree in front of my house. I'm not sure I like it, but oh well. I went and got some grass seed today. I didn't get it spread today. I'm going to try to do that probably Tuesday, get some grass seed spread because it's supposed to start raining Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So, but yeah, so there's the end of the tree saga. The tree is gone. No risk of it landing next to me anymore, which is good. So feel better about that. Don't feel great about the expense, but honestly, he did really good work. He was very reasonable. And so, yeah, I'm very happy with it, that it's all taken care of. So that's just a wrap up of what we rambled about last week, if you were wondering. So yeah, the big giant oak is gone. Makes me a little sad, but we'll put a tree back at some point this year and get started on a new one. So there you go. Yeah, it was, like I said, I should have measured it. It was only a little less than 50 years old. It was built when it was planted when the house was built, but it was out front by itself, no competition. Yeah, it was huge. Good soil. It was huge. Yeah, we'll have to get you on maybe sometime playing it if you ever, up for it. We got, we're always looking for competitors. So glad you enjoyed your first Kamagories experience. Despite, nobody likes GP's Kamagories, but we'll see. Yeah, there wouldn't have been much house left. What's going on, Chris? So yeah, that's the Tree Saga. That's the stuff I got coming up. So they get to my comic shop 2 weeks worth of books. I've been cutting back, and yet it seems like I have huge stacks. Like, my rule right now is no more than 20 new comics a month. And right now, like, I think next month I'm going to be this month I'm right at 20. I think in April I'm actually under. I think I only pulled 18. And I think for May, it looks like right now I'm going to pull 17. So, yeah, I'm trying to keep it under 20 new comics a month, which is still a bunch, but we'll see how things go. So I've read most of the last 2 weeks, although I still have a huge stack that I'm behind on my reading. Like, here's my to-read stack. I'm way behind on some of these, but some of these I'm pretty caught up. Nice. We'll have to get you involved. So, yeah, hit John or I up on Instagram. Probably John. He does all the booking of contestants. So still reading Amazing Spider-Man. This was interesting. A little different kind of side story, and Pete trying to deal with what's been happening to him and stuff. I'm still not a big fan of this whole storyline in terms of who the villain ended up being and everything else, but does appear like they're gonna deal with the one more day and the dissolving of the marriage and all of that kind of stuff. They're finally gonna like bring that to a head. Doctor Strange actually and Mephisto come together in this. So I'm not sure Nick Spencer is the writer I want to deal with that, but I'm glad they're finally gonna like deal with it because I think this went on a little too long. So yeah. Hey, nobody's worse at it than me. So there you go. That's why now I'm on the thing. And in danger or in doubt, run in circles, scream, and there you go. So that these are just in the order. I think these are actually in reverse order of how I read them. Still been reading Captain Marvel. I've been enjoying Captain Marvel. I will say I'm a little disappointed that this storyline. Well, I'm glad the storyline's wrapping up. This storyline, this most recent one, wasn't as good. It was her and another they've had her go to future and these post-apocalyptic things now a couple of times. I feel like that's getting a little overdone. But it was interesting. I think it sets up some fun stuff. But overall, it's been decent. So we'll see. We'll see where it goes. But yeah, I hope they get a little more creative. I think. Oh, and to rip off your shirt. Don't forget that. Yeah. I mean, I'm enjoying it. I just feel like they've been a little repetitive in some of their storylines. Yeah. See, I have not enjoyed Nick Spencer's pacing, and yeah, I just haven't enjoyed his pacing on ASM. I feel like it's been slow. I feel like the payoff to this villain was not very good. Yeah, we'll see where it goes. Still reading Return of the Valkyries. This was really good. You guys know I'm a sucker for Jane Foster as Valkyrie, well, as Thor, and then Valkyrie, and this is Jason Aaron, and this Tara Guber. I can't remember I don't know how to pronounce it, but anyway, I got the Noto variant. They've introduced the Tessa Thompson Valkyrie. The version that we see in the movies has been introduced in the storyline. I really like her. Jane's like rebuilding the Valkyries as part of this King in Black thing. We're going to get another Mighty Valkyries run. I think it's going to be like a limited series, maybe 6 issues. Excuse me. So that's coming. Yeah. So have you read issue 2? Because Sentry doesn't really play a big role in issue 2 yet, John. But we get gosh dang, Brunhilde. Well, yeah, we're getting the pieces of what's going to be the new Valkyrie Corps. And yeah, it was good. I'm enjoying it so far. So I've been a sucker for all of that. Let's see what else we got here. Star Wars High Republic. I've been enjoying the High Republic stuff so far. I really have. Obviously, we got the first Martian Row or whatever, who's like one of the big bads in this whole thing. In this particular book, I really love this cover. Yeah, I know the IDW is supposed to be more for kids, but I found it pretty enjoyable. And then obviously I got number 3 as well of the main series, the Marvel series. And this was good. I'm enjoying where they're going for this. I'm a big fan of this Avar Kriss as a Jedi. I'm liking some of the other side characters. I'm liking this kid here who just became a Jedi. I've enjoyed the High Republic stuff. I think it's pretty good. We'll see where it goes. Not yet. Oh, not yet, Brett. We'll save that toward the end. So people can bail if they haven't seen. I realize spoilers are everywhere, but I'm gonna give people the chance to watch this show and the other stuff, and then I'll go into WandaVision, and people can bail if they want to. Yeah, the Adventure series is pretty good, and it's got Yoda in that, so of course I enjoy that. So, no, I didn't get. And I didn't even know about that. I'll be perfectly honest. I hadn't paid attention. Hey, Patrick Wall, what's going on? Bob, what is happening? There you go, Brunhilde, because she's a man. I like it. Yeah, I've enjoyed. And now I've only read the one book. I haven't started Into the Dark yet. I did read Light of the Jedi. I really enjoyed that before I read any of the comics. I haven't read Into the Dark yet, which I think sets up some of the stuff that's happening in this. I just haven't got there yet. But yeah, I want to read that as well. Gwen versus Carnage. I really enjoyed this little run. I'm a big fan of Spider-Gwen. Like when she's done well, I like her little version of the universe. I like her and Mary Jane. This Mary Jane Carnage is a lot of fun. And it's obviously like her universe's version because the Carnage comes from her suit and not like a regular symbiote. It was good. It'll be interesting to see where they go with it. I like this little 3-issue mini. I don't know if anything's coming to follow it up because her book, as far as I know, has been canceled. So I don't know what's going to follow this up or how soon. But I enjoyed this little mini series. What do you got? Oh, fan of the owner, he breathed life back in the Valiant. Okay, there you go. So yeah, you were in early. Still reading Harley Quinn White Knight, and I've been getting both covers of this the whole way. I'm a huge fan of this White Knight verse. This storyline has been really enjoyable. Sean Gordon Murphy's not writing it, but Katanya Collins, which I guess is his girlfriend, has been writing this. And then the Matteo Scalera art is really, really good. I've really enjoyed this little run. There's only one issue left. I'm looking forward to it. So I feel like I've said that about everything we're doing tonight, but yeah. Well, yeah, that's that's even another version of Gwen. We're getting so we have Spider-Gwen, we got Gwenpool, and now we're getting Night Gwen or something in a Heroes Reborn thing, which is like a Batgirl Gwen, I guess. I don't know. We'll see what that becomes. I think I'm probably skipping all of the Heroes Reborn stuff. I remember it from the 90s. It wasn't good then. And really, I don't know. I'm not investing in another alternate version of the Marvel Universe. I'm just not. This I agree with. This version of Harley is badass. I really enjoyed this. I like that they brought Ivy and her. So they have the two versions of Harley, right? The Marion Drew's character who became like the Neo Joker in the first one. I like the way they've handled like the Ivy Harley thing so far. I like she made an appearance in this issue. Like, yeah, I've just really enjoyed everything about White Knight verse. Another version of Gwen, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, do not pay so that what is that book called? ENIAC Era, where is it at? ENIAC #1, which is based on the original computer. So anyway, they're making a non-first print. For those that didn't watch my show this afternoon, they're making a non-first print, which is going to be open order. You can order it from their website. There's going to be no limit to the print on that. Do not pay big money for that. Now, obviously, the #1 was very limited. Like the first print was very limited. It's going for big money. But if you just want to read the story, that non-first print is going to be cheap, and you're going to be able to get it. Do not pay big prices for that. So that is a good point, Damaris. Gwen Infinite. Yeah, everything's Gwen. Not that I complain much. Hey, Thunderhouse, what's going on? So then let's see, Batman 106. I got both covers of that because I really want, like, I always get the A of Batman. I just do. And then not because of Miracle Molly or anything. And then I really wanted this Jorge Jimenez wraparound, which I'm going to take the board out because I'm a huge fan of Jorge Jimenez's art. Just a huge fan of his art. I love his character designs. I love his Harley design. So he did, and this is a really cool, all the Bat characters. Barbara's obviously been moving back to being Oracle. I'm just a big fan of his style as an artist. And yeah, so TJ, I didn't touch my book. I just took the board out, put the board back. TJ's not here yet, if he is, he hasn't said anything yet. Yeah, I love this wraparound, so I ended up getting both this time. So, and I'll be honest, like, I know there's been a lot of people just like ragging on Miracle Molly. I thought maybe she has potential. I've enjoyed Tinian's run, his writing on this. We'll see where it goes. It may or may not amount to anything. But like, she may or may not be important, but yeah, I'm glad I got it just because. Yes, I think she's been great under his run. No problem, Damaris, man. We're just hanging out. I really don't have a time limit tonight because we don't have D&D, so I'm just gonna hang out till I'm done. So maybe we go 45 minutes, maybe we go hour 15. I don't know. We'll see where it goes. Yeah, I love the clear packing boards are really cool for the wraparounds. So the last thing that I picked up in the last 2 weeks, because like I said, I only go to my comic shop about every 2 weeks. The only like new indie that I picked up, I didn't pick up Berserker. I didn't pick up the ENIAC. The only one I got, well, actually, I don't even think my comic shop got the ENIAC. I don't think, but I don't know. Is Nocturna #1. I was interested enough to try this. Bring out those. I enjoyed it. I will say that, like, I enjoyed it. I think the concept is kind of cool. I think the characters were interesting. I think the storyline, I think it has potential. But I'll be honest, I'm not big on collecting indies. And you guys know this. Like, I really want to limit what I collect. So what I'm leaning toward on this one is, even though I enjoyed #1, and I'm not like gonna just get rid of it, but like I'll probably wait and see if people say it's good and pick up the trade. Which is usually my standard operating procedure for indies anyway, is to wait until I hear good things and then pick up a trade. As you guys know, I do that that's the way I've kind of went now that I'm doing the indie show and stuff. I just don't, like, I want my collection to be fairly focused. I don't want a lot of random stuff. Although I do have a couple other like indie #1s that I've never actually read. They're in my pile that I grabbed just because I was interested and then never followed up yet. Keyword is yet. I will at some point. I got to get it through the pile. But But this was good. I like I thought the concept was good. I thought this character has some potential. Her and her brother were interesting. Was it great? No, it didn't like. It didn't make me like, oh, I gotta grab issue 2 like as soon as I can get it. It was, this is interesting. This has potential. So I'll probably wait for the trade. We'll see. Sam is saying it's awesome. Yeah, I just finished reading tonight. He liked it. Yeah, I kind of mash up. Oh man, my shop had so many copies of Berserker. It was nuts. Pleasantly surprised by Nectera. So yeah, I'm hit or miss with Snyder. Some of his stuff I really like. Some of it I'm like, eh. I do like Tony Daniel art. So yeah, I enjoyed it, but I'm leaning toward just waiting for a trade. That's where I'm at. I don't think I'll probably grab number 2. We'll see. I may change my mind between now and then, but that's where I'm leaning. Is waiting to see if others think it holds up over the rest of the issues, and getting the trade is kind of where I'm at. Like I did enjoy it. I'm not like the fact that I'm not going to grab number 2 is it's more of just I don't want like random books that I'm eventually going to have to move if I don't have to have them. I did pick up Batman Black and White number 3. I picked up number 1. I didn't pick up number 2. I don't know. I've been hit or miss on this because it is just kind of an anthology series, and I'm like, I picked this up. I grabbed this for cover price because supposedly there's a first or something in it. I haven't read it yet. And this Middleton cover was pretty cool, so I was like, all right, we'll give it another shot. But that's in my stack, and then I did pick up Infinite Frontier number 0, which is kind of the relaunch. I did not get the Wonder Woman cover. Probably should have. I could have. My shop had both of them, but I grabbed just the regular. I haven't read this yet. I'm glad. I mean, I'm not huge on a relaunch. I'm glad they're not renumbering stuff with this relaunch. That they're kind of like, but coming out of death metal and stuff. But so I'll be interested. I'm sure there's some interesting stuff in here. I just haven't read it yet. So that's my pickups. Oh, you actually did the Kickstarter thing. See, I actually thought about the Kickstarter thing, and I was like, no, I'm not gonna do it. I've never like, yeah, I just ultimately decided not to. Like some of DC stuff, I really enjoy, but mainly I read Batman. When it comes to DC, I really just read Batman stuff. So, like, I've enjoyed the White Knight stuff that they've been putting out. I've been enjoying Tinian's Batman. Nightwing frustrated the heck out of me, but he's finally back. They got Tom Taylor writing him now. I'm super excited for that. For the most part, I've enjoyed the Catwoman run, especially the Joel Jones stuff at the beginning. It has not been as good lately. Wonder Woman has been up and down depending on who the writer is. And then of course Batgirl has ended, but that's really, other than that, I don't pick up much DC. I mean, let's see, was there any? Yeah, I mean, it's Batman and Bat Family and Wonder Woman is basically what I pick up from DC. And so, and some of that stuff's been good. Some of it is not, long read. Yeah, I just haven't dug into it yet. I think so, and I hope they make the most of it. Like, I don't know. We'll see how long it lasts. I mean, he had that big time costume, and he's had new costumes before. I think it's fine. We'll see where it goes. We'll see. I don't know. I'm not worried about Spidey's costume. I'm worried about the writing, and Nick Spencer's writing has not been great. Yeah. See, and that's why I didn't. I just grabbed Nocturna kind of after the fact. Oh yeah, it's definitely a lot of cleanup, I'm sure. I've never really read any Swamp Thing. I should, just haven't ever gotten around to it. Obviously, you'd want to start with like the Alan Moore stuff. I just have never gotten around to it. I know they're kind of going in a new direction, new Swamp Thing, that kind of stuff. I've heard a lot of people talking about it. Yeah. Let's see. News one. Yeah, basically. Other pickup of the week that was not comic related. You guys have heard me talk about this series. My favorite kind of Star Wars books from back when I was a kid. Like when I grabbed them, I had a paperback copy of the first book in the series, and then I had first printing copies, hardback copies of the second two books of the series. Kavi, Comic Books NYC, recently got 2 first print copies of the number 1 book, so I needed to add it to my collection. So I did go on and snag his extra copy of Heir to the Empire, first printing. So I now have hardcovers of all 3 first printings. So excited about that. If Planet Comic Con happens in August, like it's currently scheduled, Timothy Zahn is actually supposed to be there, so I will probably take these and get them signed. I may be the only thing I get signed. I don't know, but but I will definitely go to his table and get these suckers signed. All 3 of my first prints. The other 2 are just on the shelf. I didn't pull them out, but this came in this week. I snagged his bonus copy. So very excited. It's in really good shape. I mean, it's not like minty. I don't know what you consider on a book like minty or whatever, but it's not like pages haven't yellowed. Spine is in good shape. The dust jacket's in pretty good shape. It's got a little beat up on it, but not too bad. So, but yeah, super excited to have a first print of this book to add to my little stack there. So yeah, I got, I'll just grab the other 2. So yeah, this is what I had forever. That, as you can tell, I've read like a billion times. I haven't read it actually for a long time. I should read them again actually now. And then obviously I got the other 2 books. These are both first printings. So, because after I'd read the first one, and I was like, oh, I gotta get these. So I grabbed them all, and just. I think they're first printing. Yep, they are. I was like, I think so. So now I have a first printing of the whole series. Super happy with that. So those are all my pickups. We are 32 minutes in. I've talked about what I got coming up. Anything else? So So other stuff with me, just a little bit collecting wise. I'm a little bit on freeze, obviously. I'd kind of like accumulated some stuff. I was going to use a little extra from my tax return because I got a little more back than I expected. Maybe if we got the stimulus, going to use that to grab a couple of books. All of that money went to the tree. So we're a little bit on hold. We got a little bit of funds. I'm still trying to work the deal that I was working for a book before that I had to put it on pause for basically a month. Hopefully by the end of this month, I can finish that deal for a book that I tried to start right when I found out about the tree, like the day before the tree discovery happened. So there hasn't been a lot going on with my thing. Kind of waiting for, I sent those books to Jimmy, Geek Aficionado, late toward the end of January. He has sent them. He has finished cleaning and pressing, and they're on their way to CGC right now in the mail. So hopefully they'll get there, which at the rate CGC is going means I'll get those books back in like July. Honestly, it should be like mid-May-ish probably, but we'll see if we get them back before June. I'm hoping at least before June. And some of those I plan to sell, and that's probably not going to do much in the way of like picking things off my list until that happens and I can move some of those books. But, we're going to keep plugging away. The market is going crazy. Some of my books may just be out of reach by that point. It's funny, like I looked today just out of curiosity, and suddenly in the last 6 months, this has become the most expensive book in my collection. This is second right now, which is different and new. We'll see where some of these other things go, but yeah. So things are moving, things are taking off. So we'll see if I ever manage to get that Star Wars #1. I don't know. It may be gone like the Clone Wars. It's Chasing the Dragon from Magma. No, I didn't even see that one. Like, my shop gets a decent selection of indies, but yeah, like, I don't remember. But it's decent, not like super extensive. So, because they are still pretty small. But so yeah, I didn't even know about that one. They don't usually get like heavy metal type stuff. And then let's see. So yeah, I guess with that, I don't know that I have anything else to report. We'll do a little WandaVision talk. So let me put this up. So if anybody comes in, and I realize like most people, if you haven't seen it yet, yeah, you've probably been spoiled, which is always a pain. But I will say, like I'm not going to talk about everything. We did an hour-long show on Lois's channel last night talking WandaVision. So go check that out. That was me and John and Lois's brother Vic and Lois, and that was a good time. And we talked about a lot of things: favorite episode, favorite moments, actors, and all that kind of stuff. Overall, I was super happy with WandaVision. I know there's been some complaints, and I think I'm going to deal with those in just a minute, because I think many of them are kind of unrealistic and more about people's expectations than about the actual product. But we'll get there. This is not. You were not wrong. You were not wrong, Louis. So yeah, Unruly speaks it out because I don't think he's seen it yet. So later, Unruly. I really enjoyed it. I thought it changed what I thought these shows are going to be for the better, in my opinion. And I love it. It's actually not a very big story. I do think I've heard some criticism of the finale is like the lowest rating, and I can see that because the finale, they kind of felt like they had to give you kind of the big battle when I don't know that it was really necessary. It was entertaining last night when Burke. Yeah, Burke was kind of on an island on that one a little bit, at least with that crowd. He's not the only person that didn't like it, and no show's going to be for everybody, so that's no big deal. Overall, I really enjoyed it. I really liked it. It was really just about her dealing with her grief and having to move on. But it was told in a really cool manner. I thought episode 8, I think, is just spectacular. Episode 9 is not as good, I think, but it was definitely a good wrap up overall. Coming like the fans, yes, yeah, I think so, and that's actually so. We'll just get into that. Like a lot of the criticism I have seen is all about these crazy plot threads. I've heard a lot of criticisms about like, oh, well, they introduced all these plot threads and then they didn't follow through. And the plot threads that they're talking about is the one guy, like the one person who I normally like is like an entertainment writer and stuff, was like complaining about the Evan Peters thing, that they trolled us and that they didn't follow through with that. But yes, they did. We found out. So we found out who Agnes's husband was. It wasn't like not really her husband. It was the person whose house she was using. Like that she was a husband, and that it was a troll casting. It absolutely was. They were messing with us. They wanted us to theorize. They wanted us to speculate. But it is what it is, and they're moving on. They're not going to use those X-Men Fox versions of the characters. They're not going to do it. They're going to introduce their own. Kevin Feige has said this over and over again. And the people were jumping on this and jumping on that, Patrick Stewart or James McAvoy or Magneto or somebody's going to appear. No, they're not. They weren't. And they're not going to introduce the X-Men in a show. Like, that's the other thing that I think I got out of this is these shows, They're using them to tell side stories. They're using them to tell things, advance the overall narrative, to spend time focused on characters that aren't going to get their own movies for the most part. And yeah, and tell side stuff. I agree. And I agree completely with Kachung. They didn't, there was no need for the flourish. I love that it was like week to week. I love that it was week to week. Next 2 hours. I don't know about that, TJ, but I'm not necessarily rapid in like 40, like normally 45, 50 minutes. We'll see how long this goes. But I don't think I'm filling 2 hours, 2 more hours. But we'll go for a little while. But like, so everybody complained about that. It was fine. It worked for me. It like, okay. And Wanda was so messed up that she couldn't figure out what was going on. What John's saying, it's gonna take them a while to get them included. It's just gonna take a while. Ryan Boner. So yeah, so that was fine. I heard complaints about that they didn't follow up with Jimmy Woo's witness. Well, that was just an excuse for him to be there, to start the story of them trying to investigate what was happening. But if he wasn't involved in the plot, if the witness wasn't involved in the plot, he's not going to out the witness. He's not going to go to Monica and go, oh, here's my witness protection guy. No, he's going to meet with him privately where people don't know. He doesn't want to like out that guy to anything. So it completely makes sense that there was no follow-up there if he wasn't important. And even if he was, an FBI agent's not going to go around talking to him. So that was fine. They didn't need to follow up on that. People were complaining about that. And then most of the rest of the complaints were that we didn't get Mephisto. We didn't get Magneto. We didn't get... And it was like, your theories didn't come true. Your theories weren't important. And the cat is now like, hey, why aren't you paying attention to me? Yeah. So, yeah, I was wrong. I had a whole bunch of theories. I thought for sure that there was somebody else like manipulating her behind it. It was all just Wanda and her grief. That doesn't mean there wasn't things to complain about in the show. Yeah, because there were weaknesses. I would argue, like the Hayward, the shady government guy, I felt like was a little one note, a little typical. The fact that Wanda just walks away with no consequences, like who was going to stop her? Nobody. But like, it'll be interesting to see how she goes forward from this and how she's seen by the rest of the Avengers and everyone else in this universe after having done this. Like, I realized she wasn't completely in control, but like, she still did she did a terrible thing to these people. Bettany, the two trolley things were casting Evan Peters to mess with everybody, and then Bettany, because they could have cast anybody that was about that age, looked kind of like that, to be quick Pietro, and Bettany like talking about himself, like, and that was good. So the Darkhold. So let's get into that for a second. So let's talk about Wanda. Obviously, the doors are open to her power. Like, she's never truly understood what she could actually do. She now does to a certain degree. Like, understands just how powerful she is. And she's learning about magic from a dark magic, chaos magic book. I'm pretty sure, like, if you go back to Doctor Strange in that library in the Sanctum Sanctorum where he was learning, that would not, if she was in Hogwarts, that would definitely have been in the restricted section. Like, probably not the best way for her to learn magic. And it's gonna be like, it'll be interesting to see what we get from her on the backside, because Wanda's been at times a pretty messed up, a pretty dark character at times. Not necessarily the most mentally stable, as we've seen just through this show, and super powerful. And the fact that she's really like learning, doesn't know much about magic, and all her learning is coming from this book right now, I think sets up a lot of thing of, will she be a villain when she comes out of this? Is she, she's not necessarily a villain in terms of, she was kind of the villain of this story in many ways, at least to those people in Westview. Now, Agatha all along was not really real. Yes, she came in and was kind of messing with things, but she was really just about Wanda's power, but it was Wanda that drew her there. So yeah. Yes, the missing book from the Strange's library. Pretty much. That's a good way to put it. Severe PTSD. Later, Planet. I'm not saying that they're not gonna I think she's ultimately gonna be redeemed, but it'll be interesting to see where she is when we see her again. Because she is learning dark magic. It's not, so it'll be interesting to see where she is when she comes out of this. I will say, so overall though, I was super happy with it. I really enjoyed the fact that they took a risk. They told a different type of story. It's really about her accepting her loss, accepting that he's gone, and starting to move on, which she's doing. So that's really cool. I think it'll be interesting to see where they go with this version of Vision, with the White Vision. I honestly think when we see him again, he's going to be trying to he now has the memories, but he's a little more mechanical. I think we're going to see kind of a Vision who's trying to find his place. My guess is he can change his appearance. He's not going to be White Vision for very long. He's going to have color back relatively soon, I would guess, and be somewhere in between what he was before and this version now. Yes. Yeah, I would say that's true. And that's what I thought they were always. That was my theory. My theory was always there was a bigger magical big bad that was either going to be behind Agatha or was going to be would in a post credit would be taking notice of her. That didn't happen, which is fine. It didn't need to happen. It can happen later. It can happen in Multiverse of Madness and still serve the story just as well. I do want to comment a little bit just about the acting. I thought Elizabeth Olsen was fan-freaking-tastic in this. She has acting chops I didn't realize. Pulling off all those different versions of those TV sitcom mothers. And she did a really good job on all of them. And then just her emotional depth and what she was dealing with and how I thought she was fantastic. Obviously, Jimmy and Darcy were a highlight for me just because lightening up the show. I can't think of her name, but Monica, the actress playing Monica, was really good. I'd never seen her in anything before. I thought she was really good. She was a pleasant surprise for me. And I've never heard anybody talk about Bettany, but he was just his solid, usual self, which kind of just blended in the show. Didn't draw rave reviews, but I thought he was great. I will say, one of Burke's complaints was, I think it was Burke. I don't remember. Was that no? It was I got issues with talking about that. Catherine Hahn, when she became the big bad, when she was fantastic as the nosy neighbor and that kind of stuff, but when she actually got outed as Agatha, was a little over the top. I would agree with that. I don't think that was the best part of her performance. That's an interesting question, Kachung, is how are they going to go? Because we see her basically astral projecting at the end, because she's walking around and yet part of her is studying the book. And so it'll be interesting to see if it's truly one personality or if she has a little bit of a split personality with the Scarlet Witch, how they handle it. I don't think they're going to do the split personality thing. I think they're really going to be that it's her. It's just a part of her she didn't know. The Scarlet Witch is really about having the ability to use those powers, that chaos magic, and I think that's really more of what it is she's just the current version that has access to those powers, that I don't think it's necessarily like a different personality, but we'll see. Yeah, Catherine Hahn was fantastic. She's always really good. Acting across the board was fantastic. Yep. And I get that she's kind of supposed to a certain degree, I feel like, but yeah. But anyway, like I just really, really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed that they took a chance, that they did something different. Now, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I'm looking forward to it. But I think it's going to be more typical Marvel fare. I think it's very much going to be in the mold of Winter Soldier, just a TV show. But that could be fantastic too. I'm hopeful. My main thing is I hope they do take risks with the shows. They do different things. They try different types of storytelling. Some of it may not work as well as other things, but I hope they keep using it to push the envelope and give focus to characters that won't get it if we just have to wait for movies. So that's me. He's supposed to be a robot though. So yeah, but I thought he was good. Yeah, see, that's what I think. I think it's more just a title than a personality kind of thing. That there's actually like a Scarlet Witch personality. I don't think they're going to go down that road. Anything else I didn't mention that I wanted to mention? Nothing I can think of. Well, he's talking about. Yeah, he's talking about Vision, but yeah. But yeah, I thought it was all really, really well done. I really enjoyed it. Is that is it a perfect show? No. I think last night I ended up giving it a 9. I think in hindsight, I was debating on 8.5, 9. I think it's more of an 8.5. I think it's because there are some flaws. I do think some of the the finale, the big battle was kind of unnecessary. Although I did think it was fun that she like used the knowledge that Agatha gave her to beat her. I thought that was kind of cool and well done. The last thing I want to comment about is the fact that they pulled off the tiara crown thing. I loved it when it glowed. Like I thought that was perfect. I think I was talking in a chat with like Adam Bear Island. He was like, "Oh, I wish they'd just done that the whole time, just the glowing one," which I think would look cool instead of the practical one. But I think overall they made that look really good, which I didn't know if they could do that with that part of the outfit. But overall, like the Scarlet Witch look was spot on and really good. And my guess is we're going to see like, I don't know if Delphia's already working on it or not, but my guess is we're going to see like half the female cosplayers when we get cons again in that Scarlet Witch outfits, because there's going to be a ton of them, I would guess. I don't know if Delphia's like, go in that direction or not. We'll see. But as our resident cosplayers, Delphia and Kachung, we'll see. But yeah. Yeah. And she is super powerful. Like, I think there's no doubt at this point, she's the most powerful person in this universe, at least right now. Like, yeah, Carol can like destroy a whole bunch of stuff, but how is she gonna hold up against magic? Magic is like, and it's clear to me she's less knowledgeable than Strange, but she's trying to change that, but more powerful. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, John had something tonight misexplained, so there's no D&D tonight. That's why I'm still going. So no D&D tonight. 3D printed models. That's awesome. Well, I seen somebody, like, I saw somebody on Instagram. One of the cosplayers I follow on Instagram had, like, on Friday, had already made the tiara. Like, they had it, like, and was talking about how she was going to do the costume and stuff. Oh, there he is. Mephisto has showed up in the chat. Why weren't you in WandaVision? I kept saying you would be. So, yeah. Mephisto has Billy and Tommy. There you go. Yeah. So, I do think that's going to be a driving force for her going forward, is trying to get those kids back. And I think eventually that happens, and those kids are going to be obviously part of future movies. Yep, you could have had a decent time tonight, Jason. So, yeah. So we were off this week because, yeah, John had that family thing. All right. I'm going to we're almost an hour. I'm going to do a recap of all the stuff I got coming up and the stuff I picked up this week. And then we're going to get out of here. So we're done with the WandaVision spoilers for anybody hopped in late. Go back, turn the banner off. After the thing that I actually collected them. So maybe that's what they just talked about that like, maybe she's strong enough she can. I don't know. That's an interesting thought, like how they're going to handle it in this version of the universe, because they're not necessarily, like, all the rules that are in the comics for some of these characters aren't necessarily what they're doing in the movie. So we'll see. But yeah, Strange has to be asleep when he's doing it. So, she's making a projection of herself in case someone's watching. That's a way to think about it. So, yeah. Do you have a cheap copy of your first appearance? Sam working the angles. I like it. So, things. Actually, we'll do recap of what I picked up this week first, and then we'll do shows I got coming up last. All right. So I talked about this. One of my favorite Star Wars book series of all time. These were my originals. These two are both originally first prints that I've had since they came out. Kavi, she had an extra copy of a first print of the first book, Heir to the Empire. I picked that up from him. Super happy to now have all hardbacks of first prints of all three books, and give my old little trade a little bit of a rest. Chaos Magic has no rules. There you go. You're dating yourself, Scott, just for the record. I'm not sure that many people still remember that, but yeah. Then my comic pickups, I did get to my shop this week. 2 weeks worth of books. I did pick up a copy of Infinite Frontier. Have not read that yet. I did pick up number 3 of Batman Black and White, because supposedly there's a new Robin or something going on in here. I have not read that yet. I don't know what's going on there. I grabbed that. The Dallas Bobby Showers. I would guess it was probably in some remote area of Sokovia. That would be my guess. Yes. They obviously didn't show that, but say that, but that would be my guess. Whoa, I'm even more out of focus. There we go. I did pick up Nocterra number 1. I really enjoyed it. I think it's got a lot of potential, but I'm probably not going to collect it. I think I'll probably wait for a trade. It was good. It has potential. It wasn't great. It didn't drive me like, I got to have all these. So I think I'll probably wait for a trade, but I wasn't disappointed that I grabbed the first one. Oh, yeah. Mount Wundagore. Yeah. Maybe that's where she's at. Yeah, I would assume Mount Wundagore. That's probably exactly right where she is. I did end up getting both covers of Batman 106, not because it was the cameo of Molly, but because I always get the A cover, and I really wanted this wraparound Jorge Jimenez B cover. That was before I knew there was a cameo in it. I ordered those. So let's see. I got both covers of Batman White Knight presents Harley Quinn. I'm really enjoying this read. I've enjoyed everything White Knight. So if you've been following me, like you guys know, I love those White Knight, Curse of the White Knight. And yeah, I really enjoyed those. Could have just realized you died in a blanket. There you go. Darkhold was made by Chthon. That is correct. AJ Hood, what is going on? So yeah, I think there's going to be consequences of her going this deep into the chaos magic. Obviously, I figure that's going to happen in the movie. Whoever the big bad is, whether it's Nightmare or Chthon or Mephisto or whoever they go with, part of that is going to be a result of her using this dark magic, I would say, and this chaos magic. There was not, because they did the wraparound. They did not do a cardstock. Gwen versus Carnage. I read this little 3-set. This was fun. I enjoyed this Mary Jane version of Carnage. I thought that was pretty good. That whole 3-book set. I'm really enjoying High Republic. I picked up number 3, and then the High Republic Adventures by IDW. I love this cover, by the way. Like, this is a really cool cover. This little Padawan character. This girl's just a Padawan, and Yoda, and like the whole crew. I'm enjoying this Star Wars High Adventures. It had a first appearance in it too, but yeah, I just enjoying it. Yeah, I did grab, like, I haven't got a ton of variants, but I did get a couple of variants of it because it was really good. I picked up Return of the Valkyries because Jason Aaron being involved in writing Jane Foster. I'm gonna grab it. And I've really enjoyed Jane Foster Valkyrie before that series got canceled. I'm enjoying the introduction of this Valkyrie, which is the Tessa Thompson version of Valkyrie coming to Marvel Comics. So I'm really enjoying that. So yeah, that's been good. I'm looking forward to the Mighty Valkyrie series. I've been digging Captain Marvel. Like, I feel like this storyline was a little repetitive, but overall I'm really enjoying where they went with Carol and some of the stuff that's going on here. So yeah, I've still been picking this up. And then ASM, this was a better issue than most Nick Spencer issues, but still they appear to be they're going to deal with One More Day and the fallout of all that with Mephisto and what he did, the deal they made with him, and I'm looking forward to that. I just wish somebody other than Nick Spencer was writing it. I'll be honest. So those are my pickups from the last 2 weeks. I think that's pretty close to correct, yes. Well, I think she called it the Darkhold, but yeah. Yeah, somebody else mentioned that Big Bullish guy. So yeah. And then things I got coming up on the channel, on the show, we got tomorrow night, I'll be on Comic Books NYC for another Gotham City Chronicles. We're doing Golden Age Batman. We're discussing Detective Comics 27 through 33, which 33 is kind of the original origin issue. And then we're doing 38, and then we're going to talk about Batman 1. I actually have read I read all the way through 38. I read the issues we're not going to discuss just because I was just reading it. I still got to read Batman 1, and there's a lot in this book. And this trade was not that expensive because it does 27 through 45, Batman 1 through 3, and then New York's World's Fair number 2. So, but yeah, it's been interesting. It's definitely dated, but like the pieces are all there. So yeah, I'm enjoying that. Looking forward to talking about that tomorrow night. And then Thursday night, the indie show is back. The Mad Monk story is a part of that. That is correct, Thunderhouse. Mad Monk and what was that? Dr. Death is one of the storylines there. And then obviously his origin. And then we got, and then obviously the Robin, that's the first, 38th is the first Robin. And then Batman is obviously first Catwoman and Joker. I have another half hour to fill. No, another hour and a half. I think he's saying another hour and a half to fill. I don't think I'm gonna make it that long, TJ. I don't know if I have anything to say. Thursday night we got The Wicked and Divine. We're doing on the indie show. We're up to volume 6 and 7. So I will talk about the indie show for a minute, TJ. How about that? We'll do that at the end. Who owns the rights to Gotham City Chronicles? Okay, so it was my idea, but shockingly, Kavi came up with the name. So, but to do the show and talk about it was my idea. So I'm sure he may take me to court at some point over that. Nice. Hey, Alex, what's going on, man? So, but yeah, this was cool. I may have to get some more of these, like, just because. I mean, just to have. Like, because I think there's like up to 8 volumes of this, like in this format. I thought about getting afterward, I found that they still had like the hardcover of this that I could have got also, but I'm okay with the paperback on this one. I've been trying to shift a little bit to some hardcovers on stories I really love for my trades, just to get higher quality copies. I did that for East of West. I did that for Descender. I've been doing that for a few of my Batman stories. I've been grabbing like the deluxe edition hardcovers. I did that for White Knight. I did that for Year One. I just went on and grabbed Ego that way. So yeah, I've been trying to grab some hardcovers and upgrade and get a nice copy as opposed to just a regular trade. I talked about this a little bit earlier. This is true. Friendly neighborhood. There you go. We haven't done something like that. Whoa. My chair, like, thought it was going to dump me for a second. So yeah, I've been moving toward that. I tell you what, like, doing the indie show has reminded me why I like comics in the first place, which is I love to read them. When I first got back in, it was started out as reading again, and then I got into the collecting side of things, and I do like to collect. And I've enjoyed like picking up keys and grabbing things like this, and I really enjoy doing that. But really, at heart, I'm a reader and not a collector, I guess, is the way I would put it. Or reader first, collector second. And I love trades. I love that I get to have stories and I don't have to read the floppies. I love having trades. I mean, you can see that's like half the stuff that I've done for the indie show up there on that shelf. Some more of it, like the hardcovers are out of the screen. Well, if I turn it like a little bit, they're the hardcover, like East and West and Descender hardcovers. All the books, like on this shelf, those are all Batmans on either side of the pops. Those are all Batman trades. Those are Batman trades. Those are Spider-Man trades. Those are all mostly Ultimate Spider-Man trades. So I thought about the Absolute Edition. I looked at it. Those things are ginormous. Like, they would not fit on my shelf. Like those big giant bookshelves, like they're too deep, like they don't fit. Like I measured. Like, so I don't know what I do with them. So I did not do the Absolute Edition. I just did the Deluxe Edition, which like I think Absolute Editions are cool, but they're so big. I don't have any place to really put them. So yeah. I don't know if they have a lot of Golden Age stuff that they've been putting together and Silver Age stuff that are similar to this. I know they have Superman. I know they have Flash. They have some Wonder Woman ones, trades. You just have to look. I don't know if they have one in print right now or not. Hey, Archimus, what's going on, man? Yeah, second flat on himself. Yeah, you could do that. Spider Dingle. so clearly I completely lost where I was going, but when I was talking about that. So, but yeah, I really enjoy having trades, and I've been trying to upgrade, get a little nicer copies of a lot of them. Slowly but surely. See, that's my thing. I just don't know what I would do with them. I think they're cool. I don't have a hardcover copy of Long Halloween yet. That's what I need. I was going to try to grab in my last in-stock trades order. They had a deluxe edition of a Hush that I was going to try to grab, and then by the time I made the order, they were out of them. So I was like, dang it. So I kind of missed out on that. So I'm sure I can get it elsewhere. I just haven't gotten it yet. But yeah, a really nice hardcover edition of Long Halloween, probably like the deluxe edition if I can find it. Hush, like just most of those Batman stories that I really love, I'd love to grab. There's some other of these that I've considered trying to upgrade to the hardcovers of these indie show stuff I've been doing. But man, hardcovers are expensive, and I just spent all that money on the trade, so it's like, yeah. But I was happy. I tell you the nice thing about upgrading East and West, I was able to send the trades out to Carlito in a contest. He won a giveaway for me. I was able to send Kachung and Delphia Descender. I don't know if they've started yet. Have you started Descender yet, Kachung? Let me know if you have. You don't have to just curious. Hey Shelty, what's going on? So there you go. They have more fun trades for the Spectre. Nice. So yeah, so I'm just really enjoying trades. I talked about Nocturna. I'm not going to collect Nocturna, but I might end up buying the trade. Well, and the trades, if it continues, if it's good and I'm hearing good things, then I'll probably buy the trade. Which brings me back to, keep going for you, TJ. Coming up on the indie show kind of stuff. So we got Wicked and Divine this week. Next week we're doing The Valiant. With Daymares and White Whale, which is where's that? It's right there. So we're doing this, which was kind of the relaunch. What year was this? Daymares can tell you. I'm not seeing what year when they did a relaunch, the 4-issue relaunch, kind of when they brought it back, like 2010-ish, 2012-ish. Daymares. Have to put it in the chat. So we're doing that. Daymares, the two biggest Valiant fans are joining me for that. If for somebody else has read this and wants to join us, I got an open spot. Right now it's just me, Daymares, and White Whale. That's gonna be next Thursday. That's okay. You don't have to start it yet. Didn't you got one of those through the store or whatever? Yeah, the signed one, which is awesome. Hey Davo, what's going on? Yes, you did make it, Sharon. Homework is all done. Nice. So I'm still going. TJ wanted me to keep going. I'm over an hour because we're not doing D&D tonight. So, same direction. Nice, Scott. 2012. Okay. I know it was like 10 or 12 in there. So we're doing that next week. We're doing volume 2 of Something is Killing the Children last week of the month. Or no, the week of the 25th. Last full week of the month. How about that? We're doing that on the 25th. So the next 3 Thursdays, I got an indie show. But what I'm trying to do is wrap up what I'm calling season 1, probably by the end of April. And which will be almost exactly a year. Right at a year since I started the indie show. I'd announced it in April. First episode was in May. And basically, I'm going to start picking some stuff for season 2. Now, I've already picked out a few things. We're going to read Ascender because I love Descender. I'm going to start going with Ascender with that same crew. We're going to try to do the second half of Fables. So we got one more episode of Fables to finish the first half of Fables, because it's a monster. That's 11 volumes, the first half. It's 22 volumes total. So I got one more episode of that I'm going to do in season 1 to finish the first half, and then we're going to do the second half will be in season 2. So Ascender and Fables. I'm going to do Southern Bastards, but that's only 4 volumes, so that's going to be 2 shows. So I got that in there. I'm going to try to do Die. I'm going to get a crew to do Die. The first few volumes of Die. I have this written down. Where's my notepad? I have all this written down. Where is my notepad? And I don't see it. Of course not. So, yeah. So, never mind. I'll try to do it from memory because I don't know where that notepad is at. I have too much crap in here. I have work notepads and personal. Oh, wait. There it is. There it is. Ha-ha. So, yeah. So, those are the things that, anything else for season 2? So yeah, Ascender, Fable, Something's Killing Children, we're going to keep doing as they come out. Southern Bastards and Die. And then the rest of it, I'm going to kind of leave up to you guys. I'm going to do a show at some point, and basically what I'm thinking is I'm going to pick another long-running series like Fables. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a couple of options. I'm thinking like right now, like Invincible, which is like 144 issues, maybe like TMNT, maybe like the current IDW TMNT run, maybe, I don't know, something else. Like so people have options for that kind of stuff. And then I'm going to do a poll and let you guys kind of pick, where should we go? Should we go Invincible? Should we go Turtles? Should we go what? And then I'm going to do that for a couple of different things. I'm going to do like some shorter link stuff. I'm going to do an ongoing, and like help you guys let me pick. So probably sometime mid to late April, I'm going to do that and like pick where we're going to go with the indie show for season 2. Daymar says he's game for Die. Nice. Yes, Tacoma, you were on my list if you're available that when we start Die in season 2, since we're kind of caught up on Monsters now, like if another volume of Monsters comes out during season 2, we'll keep reading it. Like we'll do it again. We'll continue with Monsters, but they haven't even started yet. So we'll see if we get a volume during season 2 or if it's like season 3 before we come back to Monsters. So yeah, anything that's ongoing, I'll keep revisiting, but most of that's we're caught up on. Walking Dead, that would be another one like that you could do as a long one. I'm only going to pick like one super long one this time. So until I get Fables done, and then I'll start this other one and kind of do that way. Why the Last Man is on the list. Transmit is a potential. Like I have a whole list of like these are like a whole list of different ones people have mentioned to me. I don't know if Transmetropolitan is on that list though. And I've heard good things about that. It is not. So that's a good call, Thunderhouse. That one never made the potential list. And I'm obviously going to have to like narrow this down. And I may do like some polls on my community tab to like narrow some of these down. What are going to be the final options we kind of pick from whenever I do the show. Paul 10. So, wow, that is really terrible handwriting. I don't think I can read that. That was really bad handwriting. I'm not going to show you guys. So that's a good call. Yarn Man is not going to make the list. That's good. That's awesome. So we'll get you back involved, Tacoma. So we definitely missed you on the last Monster show, but I understood completely. Yeah. So so that would be kind of like a medium length one, Thunderhouse. Something 40 to 60-ish issues. I'm considering like medium length. Over 100 would be like a long one. So yeah, I'm probably going to do like a long one, a medium one, maybe a couple of one shots or a one shot that like the chat can kind of pick, and maybe I had it down here. What was I thinking? So one long running one to pick for season 2, one medium length, that 40 to 60 kind of issue kind of thing. One new ongoing, that I haven't started reading. A one shot, and then one kind of wild card that we would just pick some stuff that maybe didn't get picked, or some things that didn't necessarily fit in a specific category, or maybe just some ones that I want to do, and do some polls and voting and kind of have some fun with it. So that's my goal. I'll probably do some polls to help decide what even makes the polls for the show, because like I said, I have this huge long list, and I know there's lots of things that aren't on it that probably could be. So yeah. So, and then obviously I'll be looking for people to join me and talk about these things. So that is where we're going to go with the indie show. More to come. But I want to wrap up season 1. So which means for me, wrapping up season 1 of the indie show is we're going to finish Wicked and Divine. So we got 2 Wicked and Divine shows to do, because we got to do 6 and 7 this week, and then sometime in April we'll do 8 and 9. We got to do one more Fable show to get to volumes 10 and 11. We're going to fit in the Valiant. We're going to fit in volume 2 of Something Is Killing the Children. I want to do Reborn, because I have a crew for that. I just haven't sent a message to them. I want to get Reborn in before the end of season 1. And I may try to squeeze one other thing in, just because that would get me to 35 episodes, which is a lot in about a year. So yeah. So Harrow County. I don't think that's on my list either. People are always bringing up new stuff. It's amazing. Harrow County. I don't even know what that's about. I don't think I've even heard of that one, Louis. 8 volumes. So yeah, that's about right, because like East of West was 10, Descender was 6, Wicked and Divine was 9, Saga was 9. So yeah, those are kind of things that we can kind of fit in. So is Harrow County like horror? What is that? I'm curious, because I have not heard of that one. Only if you're on that show, TJ. TJ needs to be on. You need to be a part of one of the indie shows. We need to find one. We'll fit one in. And for something you want to read that you haven't read, independent wise, TJ, you let me know. We'll put it on there, because I want you on the indie show, reading these and talking about comics. Because I know you like to read stuff. I know you collect, but I also know you like to read. And if you can buy trades, then you don't have to touch your books. We can get you trades and like have you on that way. It's Cullen Bunn. Cullen Bunn does a ton of horror. There's a ton of like Cullen Bunn horror stuff that you could put on the list, for sure. Because he does a lot of horror kind of comics. So yeah. Planetary. Did I ever put Planetary on the list? I think it's on here. Yeah, Planetary is on here. Yep, right there. So yeah, well, some of the stuff that's on here. Paper Girls is on here. Once and Future. Black Science. Why the Last Man. Lock and Key. 100 Bullets. Invincible. Spawn. Because I've never read any Spawn. Turtles. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Hellboy stuff. Sandman. Never read Sandman. Deadly Class, Lazarus, Bone, Black Hammer, Lumberjanes, Bits Planet, Prodigy, American Gods, I Kill Giants, Rachel Rising, 7 to Eternity, Seraph of Babylon, Dying in the Dead, Walking Dead, Middle West, Bad Weekend, Reborn's on here, but like I have it up there, we just haven't done it yet. Old Guard, Magic Order, Hero Bear and the Kids, which I think is like one that I could do with like kids in the community and that kind of stuff. Pulp, Miracle Man, High Crimes, Planetary, Gideon Falls, Ice Cream Man, Transmetropolitan, Harrow County is my current list of potentials. So if you have other stuff I should be considering, let me know. I think, what is it? There's another, like a couple of newer stuff that I know people are liking that I may have to include that are ongoing. So yeah. Planet Terry. So yeah, so there's a bunch of stuff that I want to get to at some point. I mean, I realize the indie show is probably like my worst watched thing that I do on my YouTube, but it's one of the things I enjoy the most because it's going to take me a long time to get through all of these if I get through all of them because there's always new stuff coming out too. But I'm way behind. I never read any of this stuff. But in the last year, like season 1, I've read all of Saga. I've read all of East and West. I will have read by the time we get down the first half of Fables. I will be caught up on Monstrous, still ongoing. Of course, so is Saga. So Saga eventually will come back. I will have finished Wicked and Divine. I will have finished Descender. I read God Country. I will be not caught up, but like the volumes that are out, the trades that are out, I will be caught up in that terms on Something is Killing the Children. We read Canto. We read V for Vendetta. Hopefully to get Reborn in and The Valiant. And then maybe one other thing. So yeah, I've checked off a bunch of stuff this year, and Sandman is definitely going to be one of the options that people can choose from. And if it doesn't get picked, it may go into the wild card just to be like, give it a second chance. And I know that's why a lot of people don't write if they haven't read it yet. And I don't blame them because we're talking full spoilers. 80 star comments. All right. So, but yeah, that's where I'm going to go with season 2 of Indie Show. I really love doing it. Like it's great for me because I love comics because I love to read them. And like I now have this huge trade collection that I didn't have any of a year ago. And I spent a lot of money last year on trades that probably could have went to like keys, but I'm okay with that. Watchmen I have read Watchmen before, but we could definitely put that in to discuss on the show because it's been a long time since I've read Watchmen. So yeah, I need to get a good copy just to have a good copy. I am not the biggest Alan Moore fan, but some of his stuff is really good. That would be one that I would love to. I don't have a copy of the trade. So I should do that. So Watchmen will go on the list, Damer. That's a good call. Later, Louie. I appreciate hanging out this long. It's been almost an hour and a half. So TJ can't complain too much, hopefully. I gave him an extra 30 minutes after I said I was going to definitely a Midwest goodbye because I said I was going to say goodbye, and then I gave him extra 30 minutes. Let's put Watchmen on here as a potential. Obviously, we're not going to get through all of those, but so yeah, my goal is to have about 10 titles. 10 titles or so that I'm going to plan on doing for season 3 or season 2. And then obviously we can fill in some one shots and we can do some continuations if new volumes come out of something we've already started, that kind of thing. So yeah, we'll see how it goes because we ended up with what? We're going to end up with approximately, at least 12 titles that we read for season 1, and maybe 13 if I try to get to a 35th episode. So yeah. No, I'm not doing that. From Hell. No, the first. Okay, yeah, those are good. League of Extraordinary. I've never read League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. That's another Alan Moore. So you guys keep people always add to my list. It never gets smaller. It never gets smaller. So, all right, we are at an hour and a half. TJ's still going to be mad at me, but I am going to wrap this up. We're still 22 people in here. You guys are amazing for hanging out with me rambling on a Sunday night. But yeah, so that's that's what's coming indie show wise. I got the next 3 weeks scheduled. I need to try to book my crew for oh, DJ. You two are ridiculous, by the way. But yeah, so I need to book a crew for Reborn because I'm gonna try to do that. I have a crew for Reborn. I just need to like holler them, the people who volunteered, and if they're still on for that. Where is that sheet at? What did I do with that sheet that has my Reborn crew on it? Well, where is my... Oh, there it is. Yeah. Yeah, so I got 3 people that have previously volunteered for Reborn. So if they're all still down, I got a full crew for that. But if not, I'll be looking for somebody else. If somebody wants to join me and White Whale and Daymares talking The Valiant a week from Thursday, you're welcome to. I just got lazy about trying to pick up a 4th. Like I knew I had those 2 guys. Daymare sent this to me because he wanted me to read it for the thing. I've never read any Valiant books, none. So I'm looking forward to that, to reading it just from that purpose because I've just never read any of them. And so Daymare's was in from the beginning. White Whale's the biggest Valiant. Next to Daymare's and White Whale are the 2 biggest Valiant fans I know. So they're both in. So if somebody else has never read this, wants to try to grab this real quick, I bet you could probably get a copy from Amazon in time. Let me know, and you can hop on with us. If not, it'll just be the 3 of us. Like a moped. So we're doing that a week from Thursday. We're doing Wicked and Divine this week. I'm looking forward to this. And then yeah, we'll keep moving. So we got about not quite 2 months probably worth of season 1 left. We got what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 shows left, I think. So yeah, we got almost 2 months worth of stuff left if we can get them all in. All right. Obviously my pickups, and then obviously my big fun pickup of the week was grabbing this from Kavi. Hoping by August we're having cons again, that we have Planet Con and Timothy Zahn is there, and I can get him to sign this now that I have a first print. Because yeah, that would be fun. All right, gang, I'm closing this out. Thanks, everybody. Hopefully the extra 30 minutes will help tide you over, TJ. I know there's no D&D tonight. So I know you're a little disappointed. You don't get 3 hours of me being on YouTube, which how anybody can watch that, I don't know. But I appreciate that you guys do. Tomorrow night, Gotham City Chronicles. Where did I lay it? Where did I lay it? Oh, it's right there. Golden Age Batman on Comic Books NYC channel. Come hang out with us. Us and Man Cave is our guest for that. So later, everybody. Night.